Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gents, to all of you across the world. I just want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And I say ignorantly because the letter J was not invented until around the 1600s, which therefore his name could not have been Jesus or Jehovah or anything else in that sort. So, with that being said, let's get straight into this hot topic. And this is Brother Yakanin, and this is the Bible TV Unleashed. So now, there's been a controversy around the whole world right now. There's been a lot of people talking and conversating about the color of the skin complexion or the race or identity of Jesus Christ. Okay, and I'm going to say Jesus Christ right now so that everybody that's watching, if they're not familiar with the name Yahweh Shai, they'll know exactly who I'm talking about. So for now on, for edification, we'll just say Jesus Christ, okay? So there's been a big controversy around. And everybody's sitting around saying, some say it doesn't matter what color he looks like. Doesn't matter what race he is. It doesn't matter if he's purple, blue. I still love him. And we actually just need to come to grips with what the Bible says. A lot of people want to go with their feelings, but it's now at a high time that we need to go into the Bible and start reading what the word actually says, okay? So let's jump straight into this. I want to start off with 1 John chapter 4 and verse 2. It says, "Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesseth that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of God." So if you come in the flesh, that means you have to have a body, right? So you have a body, and in that body, you have to be somebody that is of a specific nation. You have to be somebody that is of a specific heritage, a specific culture. You have to have an identity. You have to have a race. So what race is he? So yes, it does matter because you have to confess. If you love God and you know God, then you have to confess that his only begotten Son came in the flesh. So if he came in the flesh, what color was he? What race was he? Well, this is the Bible TV Unleashed. So you're going to get it today. You're going to get some straight head chops today, okay? You're going to hear some real Hebrew Israelite truth. So let's get it. And we're going to turn to this. We're going to go in the spirit right now, okay? Let's go to Revelations. And we're going to go to chapter 1. And let's start at verse 1. It says, "The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass." Now, if you guys don't know what revelation means to reveal. So now this is John the Revelator. And God is giving him the revealing of Jesus Christ. And he's telling you to write it down so that everyone out there knows exactly what color he was, what race he was. So first thing we're going to do is figure out what color he was. Then we'll go on to figure out what race he was. So now this is the revealing. Let's go and reveal his color, his complexion. Verse 14. "His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire." So reading this in verse 14, it says his head and his hairs were white like wool. So now we know that his hair was white, and the texture, it was woolly. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know that it's only a certain amount of people that have woolly hair on this planet Earth. Yes, that's the Negroes. Hair like wool, like sheep's hair. That's what kind of hair Christ had, and it was white as snow, kind of like Morgan Freeman. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. Not meaning that he had fire coming out of his eyes, because if you actually read the Bible in Genesis, it tells you that he drank wine. Okay, but he drank it in moderation. He wasn't a drunk. And when you drink wine, your eyes get red. Verse 15. "And his feet like unto fine brass." Now, if anybody doesn't know, brass is derivative to brown. Okay? So his feet were brown, like the color of a penny. And I'll continue. As if it has as if they burned in a furnace. So that brass that you throw inside of a furnace or a fireplace and it's brown, what color would that turn at the end? It's going to become very dark charcoal black. So what the Bible is telling you is that Christ had white woolly hair, like a big fluffy afro, and it was woolly, and his skin complexion was dark, as if it burned in a furnace. And his voice as the sound of many waters, meaning he had a loud voice. His voice was like a lion. He spoke like a man. He wasn't timid. So this is the first strike right here against America, realistically, because all of our life they told us that it doesn't matter. But the Bible actually tells me different. And I do know that Christ is a black man. Why? Because the Bible tells me so. So now, we know what color Christ is. He's a black man. Now let's figure out his race. Let's go to the book of, let's get Hebrews. Because a lot of people say it doesn't matter, but if it didn't matter, why is his race, why is his skin color mentioned in the Bible? If it didn't matter, it shouldn't even be in here. All right? So let's get it. Hebrews chapter 7 verse 14. It says, "For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which the tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood." So it's evident that the Lord sprang out of Judah. This is what you need to come to grips with when you read the Bible. Now we got his race. His race is in here. So he came from the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob's 12 sons. He came from Judah. So now, let's see the color of Judah. Let's get the color of the Jews in the Bible. Let's see what color they are. Let's get it. Because if Christ was a Jew from Judah, because that's what it means to be a Jew, you have to be Judah, and he was black, let's see what color the Jews are in the Bible. Let's get it. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 14, and let's start at verse 2. It says, Judah mourneth. So Judah, the Jews, are at mourning right now. Well, that's not really happening. The Jews over there in Israel, those Jewish people, they the richest people on the planet. How are they mourning? They got control in their hand in everything. So this can't be talking about them. It says, and the gates thereof languish. They gates ain't languishing. They got army, military, all types of stuff, man. Like I said, they got their hands in everything. So whose gates is languishing? What people are mourning and down and got nobody to lift them back up? It says, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, meaning different shades of brown. So the Bible is telling you that the Jews are actually black, different shades of brown. Just like Christ was a black man. So it does matter. And if you actually come from the tribe of Judah, you actually are descended from Christ, man. Like you actually, that's by blood, you're related to him. That's deep. Who would ever want to keep this away from somebody, man? I mean, it's crazy. It disgusts me. All right. Let's get some more to show and prove how Jesus was a so-called black man. So-called. All right. Let's get some more. Let's go to Matthew, right? Let's go to the book of Matthew. Okay? And let's get Matthew 2 and 13. That's what I want. I want Matthew 2 and 13. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. It says in Matthew 2 verse 13, and when they departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. So if you didn't know, Herod was going to come to try to destroy Jesus the Christ. So what the Most High God did was send an angel down in a dream to Joseph and tell him, you know what, get married and get your son and flee into Egypt. And Egypt is Africa. Now, why would he tell him to do that? Because we know that the ancient Egyptians and the Africans are black, right? And Christ is a black man. And the Jews are black. Mary and Joseph were black. Okay? So he knew that if he sent them down there, they would be able to what? Blend in. So Herod wouldn't be able to find him and seek to destroy him. This is another reason. This is more evidence that Christ was a black man. What we're looking at is the biggest identity theft case in history. Because you got this man right here posing as your Jesus the Christ. Caesar Borgia. Okay? So you got to sink that in. And you got to deal with that, man. It sickens me. So we got his color, which they lied to us now. We got his race, which they lied to us now. They said it don't matter, but it does matter according to the Bible. So you lied to us about that. You got us thinking that it don't matter, but it actually does. Now we got some evidence that Jesus fled into Africa and blended in with the black people. So that's even more proof. So let's get some proof on the Jews, because we already got proof that the Jews are black. They different shades of brown. So let's get some more proof. Luke 21 and 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. See, if you don't know, during the time of Christ, this is in the New Testament, this is going into the Roman persecutions, man. This is the time of the Roman slavery, man. When the Romans was coming to destroy. This is why we had to flee. Okay? It says, then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out. See, what you don't know is the mountains that he was talking about was the land of Africa, man. On that same continent of Africa, because you got a whole lot of continents on the land of Africa. On that same place, man, you had Jerusalem, which is the motherland. So you guys got to come to grips with the Bible. So what happened is the Jews fled into the mountains, which is Egypt, which is Africa. The Jews did that. Why? To blend in. This is the time of the Romans. And not only that, we're going to even get some more. I'm going to give you some proof. I'm going to back it up with some proof, okay? With some history proof. This is a book right here, okay? It's From Babylon to Timbuktu, A History of Ancient Black Races, Including the Black Hebrews, by Rudolph R. Wisner. All right, this is page 84. It says, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. This is what y'all have to understand and come to grips with. The Bible was not a lie, man. And there's history books out here to back everything up. So you lied about the color of Christ. You told us it doesn't matter. You lied about his race. You lied about the race of the Jews. You lied. And how do I know that? Because the Bible tells me so. When we was over there in Africa, when we fled into the mountains, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery, once we got there and we blended in as a people, we was kings, queens, engineers, architects, painters, builders, workers of art, all types of things, man, in that same book, Babylon the Timbuktu. We was blessed, man. We had everything. We still blessed to this day. But guess what happened to those people that fled from Jerusalem into Africa and was kings and queens and architects and engineers? Guess what happened to them? Well, let's get it. Let's read it in the Bible. All right? So let's see. Let's start off at the blessings that we had. At first, the blessings that we could have had. Let's see. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and we're going to start at verse 1. And it reads, Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. So the Bible is saying, if the Israelites, the Israelites that fled out of Jerusalem, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery, if they listened to the Most High God's laws, statutes, and commandments, we will be high above every nation on planet Earth. We will be higher than them. Okay? And verse 2, and all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Blessed shall thou be in the city, and blessed shall thou be in the field. So we'll have all of these blessings, man. We'll be blessed in the city and in the field. We'll have our own businesses in the city. We can go to our own people for food, clothes, water, all types of things, man. We'll be blessed. And in the field, we'll have our own crops, our own farms, all types of stuff, our own land, all types of stuff, if we listened to the Most High God. But if we didn't listen, let's see what the Most High God says about that. Let's go to verse 15. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So, from my understanding, I know a curse is a bad thing. So this is why it says fear the Most High God, man. Because he has a specific people that he's dealing with, and that's the Hebrew Israelites. And these Israelites fled from Jerusalem, fleeing from slavery, Roman persecution. And they went into Africa to mix and blend in with them so that they wouldn't get killed. So now the Most High God is telling you what? If you obey me, you ain't going to go through these things. But if you don't, you're going to go through some stuff. So let's see some things that we're going to go through if we don't listen to the Most High God. And maybe this might answer a lot of you guys' questions out there. Like, why is our people getting killed? Why is it a certain amount of people that's at the lower state and it's a certain amount of people that's at a higher state if it is a God? Well, this is going to answer your questions right here. All right. Let's go to verse 46. All right. Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So what you're reading in Deuteronomy, these curses, is supposed to be upon you for a sign and for a wonder. When you look up at a sign and you see Taco Bell, you know that's Taco Bell. You see gym boys, you know that's gym boys. It's a sign and a wonder to make you what? To make you think. So these curses are supposed to make you think, okay, I'm actually the Hebrew Israelites. This is what's going to wake you up right now. It's supposed to be a sign and a wonder. These curses that's written in this Bible is supposed to be a sign for you to make you wonder, this kind of sounds like me or our people. It's going to make you think. So let's read some of these curses that's in Deuteronomy chapter 28. After we was kings and queens and all of that stuff, fleeing from this Roman persecution and slavery. Let's go to verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Now, if y'all don't know, only a certain amount of people that's cursed in the city. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians of descent are the main people that's cursed in the city, getting shot down every single day. In poverty, in the ghettos. No, we don't have our own businesses. None of that. We was the only ones cursed in the field. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Picking sugar cane, tobacco, and cotton, and all types of things of sorts. We was doing that. We was cursed in the field. We still cursed in the field today. We ain't got our own land. We ain't got our own things we need. Our own businesses. This is a curse right now for you to wake up. Verse 25, the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth, man. You're going to be smitten before your enemies. You're going to die every single day right before your enemies. What's happening? Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, Freddie Gray. They getting killed right before our face in this city. And they're doing it to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians of descent. It's supposed to be a sign and a wonder for you to wake up and realize what's going on. These curses right here. Verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. So what happened when we was in slavery, man? You got a wife and you in slavery, and then guess what? That slave master come and he take your wife, and then he go and he lay with that woman. He raped that woman over and over again. This is a curse. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Because what we do? We built up massive houses. We fixed massive houses. We fixed massive sinks. We did all of that, but we wasn't able to dwell therein. That wasn't for us to, stay up in there and we can cook and party and celebrate our feast days. That wasn't for us. We built up America. America ain't give us nothing for that. These are the curses to make you look and wake up. Thou shalt plant a vineyard and shall not gather the grapes. You're going to do everything for massa. You're going to do everything for that farm. You're going to till that land, do all of that stuff. That's what happened when Christopher Columbus came over to the Americas, which they call it. And the Indians was here, the Native American Indians, our brothers, Gad. They was here. They taught them how to crop and do all of that and farm. All types of stuff, man. They got that stuff from us, but we didn't reap the benefits from it. We didn't get nothing for it. It was only for our enemies, our oppressors. All right. Let's go to verse 32. It says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. Whose sons and daughters was given unto another people, man? Ours was in slavery. When we went through that slavery, man, our sons and daughters was given into another people, man, and scattered throughout the whole 4 corners of the earth. And thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. Meaning you going to cry. You going to go through sorrow. You going to mourn because your children are being taken away. And there shall be no might in thy hand. The Bible says you ain't going to have no might in your hand. And what happened? We was in slavery, and when they came and took us in slavery, it was no might in our hand. It was nothing we can do. We were sold on auction blocks. They had to take us away, man. They took us away. And you was crying and you was mourning for it all the day long. Verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. So everything that you did, all the labor that you did, everything, all your land that you got, they're going to take that. They're going to eat all of that stuff up. And thou shalt be onely oppressed and crushed always. We're going to be oppressed and crushed. These are the Israelites. These are the Jews. Right now we are oppressed and crushed. Why are we oppressed? Because we're not listening to the Most High God, following his laws, statutes, and commandments. Why are we crushed? Because since we're not listening to the laws, statutes, and commandments, now we're ignorant. Now we're blind. Now we're asleep. So we're crushed. We're no more slaved with the chains on us physically. Now we're slaved by the brain. So we're crushed, man. But now it's high times for us to wake up out of our sleep and know who we really are. Know the true identity of yourself. Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. What happened to our sons and daughters, man? They went into captivity, and they still in captivity to this day. We still in captivity till this day. We ain't went back to our homeland, man. Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. And when was we destroyed? 1863, when Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. At that point, our whole life mindset was changed and destroyed, man. We love master now. They're gonna take us off the chains, and we still gonna be cool. Why? Because they destroyed in the brain. They still gonna be slaves. From there, I'm gonna get verse. Actually, I'll keep reading for us. Let's keep reading. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. And upon thy seed forever, which is us, man. This is we are our forefather's seed. So these curses are supposed to be a sign for us. It's supposed to make us wonder, man, you know what? This sounds like us. All this history that I'm reading, all these scriptures that I'm reading, it's all adding up, man. Verse 47, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of the heart and abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies. Since you didn't want to serve the Most High God, and you don't want to follow his law, statutes, and commandments, the 613 of them, and you want to serve another person, which got more than probably 1 million laws, and you serving every single one of his laws every single day faithfully, then you're going to serve that enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. So when you hungry, you got to go to your oppressor. When you thirsty, you got to go to your oppressor. When you need clothes, you got to go to your oppressor, man. What happened in slavery? We had to go to master for clothes, for food, for water, all of that stuff. What's happening today? We have to go to our oppressor for clothes. You don't own them clothing stores. We got to go to them for food. You don't own none of these food businesses, these restaurants. We go to our oppressors for it, man. All of these other nations. This is a curse, man. A sign and a wonder to make you want to wake up. It says, and in want of all things, everything you want, you got to go to your oppressor, man. You want a loan, you got to go to your oppressor. You want a house, a car, you got to go to your oppressor. We don't own these shops. It says, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And like I said, when have we got destroyed? That we've been destroyed, but in 1863, when Abraham Lincoln signed that Emancipation Proclamation, that's when it really hit the fan. But the thing about it that you got to look at is, it says, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. What nationality of people had yokes of iron around their neck and was slaves, and their kids was sold? Yes, that's right. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians of descent. You were sold. Your backs was beat. Your kids was sold. You was cursed in the field and in the city today. This was happening to you. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians of descent. It's time that you wake up. Let's get some more. It's verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Because at that time, what was the Israelites speaking? Hebrew. Even when they went into Africa and Egypt, they were speaking Hebrew. So now it's going to be a nation that's going to come and we cannot understand their language. What nation did that? Y'all know. Let's keep reading. Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. And this is why your sons and daughters were sold into another people. Or used as alligator bait. They didn't care about the young, man. They threw your baby out there on that water so the alligators can come and they drug your baby in. Sometimes your baby got snapped up to bring that alligator in or that crocodile in. And then they'll kill that crocodile, eat it, and then you walking around with your gator shoes. Thinking it's fly, man. It's crazy, man. It sickens me. Like I said, it sickens me to this day. Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother. This is black on black crime, man. This is our people killing our own people down in the street. This is Bible prophecy, man. Because we wasn't listening to the law, statutes, and commandments. This is why things are happening right now. This is why we killing each other down in the street. Because we have not came back to the Most High God's laws, statutes, and commandments. They are not done away with. We have to follow them, man. That's how we show and prove that we love the Most High God. You can't just say it. You have to show it. This is black on black crime in the Bible right now. You have to deal with it, man. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. If you didn't get that, rewind it so you can hear it again, man. This is the black man leaving his children, his baby mama. This is the baby mama, baby daddy thing right now going on in the Bible. You gonna leave. The black man leaves. The so-called native man, the so-called Hispanic man, we be leaving our women, man, and children. And now you just the baby dad. You're not the husband. It's in the Bible, man. Bible prophecy. Verse 58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear the glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God, Yahweh, then the Lord will make the plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed. So the plagues is going to be wonderful, man. And on thy seed, which is us right now. This is why we're getting shot down in the street, in oppression, in the slums, in the ghetto. Ain't got our own businesses. Don't know who we are. Verse 59. Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long countenance, and sore sickness, and long countenance. So now it's saying that we're going to be sick. We're going to have a plague of sickness on us and our seed, man. This is why a lot of our people are diagnosed with all types of different diseases, man. Pretty much number one on the chart. Different types of sickle cell and all types of stuff, man. Diabetes. We number one, man. We hit the charts, man. Because it's a curse in the Bible. It's supposed to be for a sign and a wonder for you to wake up, man, and know exactly who you are, because it's high times right now. Verse 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in this book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. He says every sickness and every plague that's not written in the book of this law. So that's coming up with what is it? Swine flu, Ebola, all different types of diseases that's coming out now that your oppressor is putting out. You're going to get that now. And guess what? It's mixed inside of that flu shot that you're taking too. So you better wake up when you do that. Verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. So the Israelites, they're going to get scattered through all of planet Earth. That's why you see the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians everywhere throughout the United States, throughout China, throughout Russia. You see them everywhere, man, because we scattered. We were sold to various different nations. The Arabs had us. The Africans had us. The Chinese had us. We built the Great Wall of China. These are things you got to wake up and realize and start reading your history, man. It says, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. That's Christianity and doing this Muslim stuff, man. That wood and stone. They celebrate the cobblestone. They bow down to the cobblestone. The Bible tells you not to even bow down to no stone. That wood, the wood symbolizes what? That cross, man. We ain't supposed to be celebrating these things, worshiping these different idols and different gods. Christmas, Halloween, Easter. That's not in the Bible. And when it's in the Bible, it tells you not to do it. So we need to wake up right now, man. Wake up, Israel. Verse 65. It says, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease. So when you get sold to these other nations, you ain't going to find no ease, man. Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee a trembling of heart, and a failing of eyes, and a sorrow of mind. You're going to be depressed, man. You're going to be down. You're going to be like, man, I'm going through slavery. Where is the Most High God at? But the whole thing is, he been there with you the whole time, but you just not following his law, statutes, and commandments. So you're going to go through this, man. In verse 66, it says, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee. This is why a lot of people doubt God, man. This is why a lot of people be like, you know what, it ain't no God. If it was a God, why are we going through this? It's a curse, man. It's a sign and a wonder for you to wake up right now. It says, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and thou shalt have none assurance of thy life. You're going to fear day and night and have none assurance of your life. Meaning what? When you wake up, you looking for what? Looking over your shoulder, man. The police might kill me every day. I don't know what's going to happen on me. I don't know what's going to go on. I got my hands up, everything. They still might shoot me, man. Shoot me in the back, shoot me in my face. Something gonna happen, man. You gonna fear day and night. Non-assurance of your life. You don't know if you're gonna make it tomorrow. Verse 67. In the morning thou shalt say, would God it were even, and at even thou shalt say, would God it were morning. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. So the Bible was sitting here saying that you're going to sit here and you're going to cry day and night. You're going to say, God, is it done yet? Is it done yet? Is it done yet? But you're going to see this, man. You're going to go through this because you didn't want to listen to me. You are going to get this punishment. I'm going to whoop your butt, man. This is what's going to happen. God ain't finna come down here and just be like, hey, you messed up, and whoop everybody's butt individually. He gonna do it through people, through vessels, through flesh. And this is why we going through it, man, because we did not obey his laws, statutes, and commandments. I hope y'all got your pens, your papers, your pads. I hope you can rewind this if you wasn't taking notes, because this is big, man. This is the biggest identity theft case in history. This is the Bible TV Unleashed. World news, man. You got it here. Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Now the word Egypt, what does that mean in the Bible? Because we already came out of Egypt. Now it's saying we're going to come into Egypt again. If you go to Exodus 20:2, the word Egypt means slavery. So the Most High God is saying he's going to put us in slavery again. Let's see how. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into slavery again with ships. So what nationality of people went into slavery on cargo slave ships? You blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, you went there on slave ships and had yokes of iron around your neck, and your sons and daughters were sold unto another people. It's supposed to be for a sign and for a wonder for you to wake up. It says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. Meaning you ain't going to see your homeland no more. Israel, Jerusalem. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. So you're going to be sold unto your enemies for slave men and slave women when you get off of them cargo slave ships. Your sons and daughters too. You're going to be cursed in the field. You're going to look to your oppressors for everything else. That's going to happen to you. What is this Bible telling you right now? That you're the Hebrew Israelites, the biblical Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. You Negroes, you Hispanics, you Native American Indians of descent. This happened to us. Let this be for a sign and a wonder unto you. Let's get some more though. This is the Bible Compact Dictionary. The Zondervan Bible Compact Dictionary, okay? It says Ham. And Ham is the son of Noah. Well, he's one of the three sons of Noah, okay? So it says Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live throughout the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. This Bible and this Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary and history books are telling you that you are the biblical Israelites of the Bible. This is why you're going through what you're going through. Blacks didn't sell blacks, like you guys say, or Africans didn't sell Africans. Africans sold Hebrew Israelites, Negroes, to the white man. And guess what? That's even in the Bible. So let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go to Joel chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, you Israelites, it says, I will gather all nations, and I will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead with them for my people, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, and parted my land. And they cast lots for my people. Meaning what? They cast lots, they put us on auction blocks, man. In slavery. These people did that, but let's see what people did it. And have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they may drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? See, Tyre and Zidon are these Africans. And all coast of Palestine, and that's the Arabs. Will ye reckon me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians. So these Africans and Arabs sold the Israelites, you Negroes, unto the Grecians, the white man. And I'll keep reading. That ye might remove them far from their border, far from the land of Israel. Far, far, far away. So we need to wake up right now and know exactly who we are and what God requires of us. So let's get that real quick before we even finish this all off, because we're going to finish this with this. So now that you know that they lied to us about Christ's color, his race, they lied to us about the Jews in the Bible and who they are actually black. Now that you know that, and now that you know the curses and what we're going through and why we're going through it, and that slavery is in the Bible, that we not African, that we're actually Israelites. Now that you know that, let's see what God requires of us, okay? Because now what are you supposed to do from there? How can we get out of this captivity? Deuteronomy 10 verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes which I command thee this day for thy good. That's what we're supposed to do. Be keeping his laws, statutes, and his commandments every single day. All right? And just so you guys know, going into those Jews over there, I want to touch something else. Let's get Revelations 2 and verse 9. We're going to get that real quick. Because just if y'all still thinking that those Jews over there are actually Jews, they call themselves Jewish, which is ISH, the suffix which is pertaineth to. If I called you childish, am I calling you a child? No. I'm saying you're acting like a child. So they're saying they're Jewish, which means what? They're acting like Jews. They're calling themselves Israelis. Not Israelites, but Israelis, spelled Israelize. So let's get it in the Bible. Revelations chapter 2 verse 9. It says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty. So these Jews, once again, are mourning. They're in tribulation and they're in poverty. You Negroes. But thou art rich. Why are we rich? Because we're rich in the spirit. We're promised eternal life. We're promised the kingdom of heaven. We got a whole lot of promises in the Bible, man. We're promised the adoption. All these things. It says, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy, which is the lies. It says, I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So that's who those fake Jews are over there. The synagogue of Satan, man. So with that being said, I say all praises and glory to Yahweh. All praises and glory to his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. I hope my people wake up, Israel, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians of descent. With that being said, I say shalom. This is the Bible TV Unleashed.